obviously picking up results at the bottom, but you guys sort of, more than anyone, seem to have hit form at the right time, particularly defensively. That must really please you at this juncture of the season.
Yeah, we're pleased to have kept 3 clean sheets in the last 3 games for sure. It's always an 11-man job to defend, and we've certainly been pleased with our defensive organisation over the past 3 games. We played well. We played well in the Birmingham game, offensively as well, and well in the Reading game, probably up to the final action. Just wasn't clinical enough. Certainly created enough chances in the Reading game to win that match, but unfortunately just lacked a little bit of ruthlessness. But no, it's been 3 good performances with 3 unbeaten, 3 clean sheets, and we need to take that confidence and build going into the Luton game tomorrow night.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it, how a lot of the teams at the bottom all seem to be picking up results at this stage of the season, and I think obviously it makes it tougher for everyone, but I think it just shows how important it is to remain in this division, and obviously a second relegation would really be so cruel.
Well, I think we anticipated that teams would win games at this time of the season. Often the teams at the bottom of the league do, and they do start to go on runs and pick points up. We're just very focused on us and what we have to do. We've got the games are coming thick and fast. We've got no energy to waste, so we're certainly not going to waste any energy or time worrying about other people's results. We're clear on what we need to do. At the moment, it's on our terms, and we're very focused in getting the job done.
And since you took over early on in the season, how has it been? Obviously, you've had all sorts to contend with, as everyone has, with the situation with coronavirus. But how would you sum up the task since the start of the season? Has it been tougher than you expected, or has it gone along the same lines as you thought it might?
Well, I think when you come in mid-September, when you're in a position where you only have 1 point in 9 games, it's kind of, you look at the challenge and you know exactly what is in front of you. You know it's not going to be straightforward. For me, it always felt like climbing Mount Everest. It's probably something I'd always wanted to do, and it's felt like that. And for anyone that climbs mountains, that they know the rules, and that the closer you get to the top, the tougher it gets, the thinner the air gets, the more tired you get, the more difficult it is to put your arms above your head and put one foot in front of the other. So we knew this. We are close to the top, but we're not at the top yet. We've still got a lot of work to do, and we have 4 more games to go. But we're fighting very, very hard, and the most important thing is we're now together. There's a unity in the group. The group are helping each other. We've come through many trials and tribulations during the season, and we've faced adversity a lot of times, taken a lot of criticism along the way, and that's brought us together as a group. And we're now fighting for the same cause, and that's very important. And that, as we all know, can be very powerful in a team setting. And we're going to try to use that. And for us, it's always, to try to be together, and those qualities are very important. And if we can use that to get us over the line, then that's what we're going to try to do.
Apologies if you've answered this already in the last sort of week or two, but what have you made of the situation at Wigan? And I suppose with an eye on how that could probably happen to a number of teams right now, given what you're all having to face up to.
Well, football is the best game in the world, but it's a terrible industry, unfortunately. And I feel really, really sorry for Paul Cook, who's a great man, his management team, who are great guys as well, and the players who have done so well in 2020 for Wigan, and obviously their supporters, just like them. I'm a football supporter. I love football, and you never want to see a club going through what they're going through at the moment. So we feel deeply sorry for them. I won't take any contentment at all from staying up at another club's situation, particularly you know, if it's administration or points deducted through FFP. We want to try to do it on our own merits. We're very focused to do that. We're in a position to be able to do that. But what we need to do is to keep performing and try to take the consistency that we've found in the last 3 games into the Luton game tomorrow evening.
Yeah, it looks as though that you are doing that off your own backs. The fact that you look as though the defensive situation is sorted out with those 3 clean sheets, does that kind of give you, if and when you get out of this, does that then give you a sort of building block for next season?
Well, I think over the 13 years that I've been a manager, I think our successes have always come from having a good defence. It's always the platform. It's much easier to win games 1-0 and 2-1 than it is 3-2 and 4-3, as we all know. So I think it's the foundations of any successful team. Certainly, you know, the first couple of games after lockdown were not easy for us. We were without both our number 9s, and consequently, you have to rely more on certain aspects of the game that can open you up a little bit more defensively. So for us to get Fraser back and to get Steve Mounier back has been very important, because, you know, they're our number 9s and an important attacking part of the team, but also they're our first defenders.
Just finally from me, my colleague who covers Yorkshire said that you would Huddersfield would get relegated over your dead body. I think he said that. Is that right? A couple of weeks ago. The players are obviously listening to you then.
Well, like I said, we're very determined here. You have to be very resilient and robust in the position that we found ourselves in when we joined the club. It's been a great experience for me. A great learning experience every day. It's the first time that I've, in my managerial career, that I've been part of a relegation battle, and it's been a real learning experience. It's one that we've really enjoyed. It brings many challenges, many different challenges than when you're at the top of the division. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about your players in adversity, and I'm actually really proud of the group and the way that they've come through it and the way that they've come together, and that to me is very, very important. And yeah, I make no hiding place. We're fighting. I haven't come this far to only come this far, and I've worked very, very hard for this opportunity. I know what being in the Championship means to Huddersfield Town as a football club. I know what the supporters experienced last year with relegation and the pain that they felt through going through relegation, and we just want to put some smiles on their faces. It's been a long time coming. It's been a really tough period for this football club and for all the people that care deeply for it, and they need people to stand up and to fight, and that's what you have to do. You have a choice, don't you? You know, we've been knocked down a few times this year, but every time we've not been knocked down, we've got back up and we've gone again. And that's what you have to do in life. This is what it is, and we're going to take this right to the end, and we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we get over the line. And if we can achieve that, then I think, bearing in mind the position that we were in, we can go away and we can take some positives from it, and then we can move on.
Thanks very much, Danny. I think you're the first manager I've ever heard say they enjoy a relegation battle or have enjoyed it.
Football. You have to enjoy football. Football's just a pantomime. We all have to remember that. We're just playing a part in it. Just have to remember our lines.
Cheers, Danny. Thank you.
Pleasure, Keith.
I just want to pick up, Danny, on one of the previous points mentioned, actually. With 5 games into the restart now, how have you found the Championship season restart, both from your own perspective, but generally across the Championship as well?
Well, I've enjoyed the fact that football is back. I've been enjoying the fact that I've been able to go to games pretty much every night. And if I can't go to a game, I can watch a game on television. So that's been good. And I'm pleased for the people, because football is always for the people. So I'm pleased for the people. It's not the same without the supporters. The supporters are what makes football what it is. The emotion is different, for sure. but the significance and the importance is not. And we have played some very, very important games in a different environment, and it has no hiding place. It's been different, and you have to adapt accordingly. And we've tried to do that, and we've enjoyed the challenge of that, and we're looking forward now to the final 4 games. And the first 5 games went pretty quick. I've got a feeling these next 4 games will go equally as quick.
Yeah, they don't come any bigger than tomorrow night as well. And no doubt football fans are missed inside the stadium, but how much will the Terriers faithful be missed tomorrow evening, given the magnitude of this game in your season?
Well, they will definitely be missed. There's no hiding place from that. You know, we have had a really good home record since we've been here, and the supporters have played a key role in that home record. You know, I've said this before, there's a difference between being a supporter and a spectator. Spectator, it just happens to, and you just watch. A supporter, you're actually interacting and involved, and you can actually affect the outcome of the game. And we're very lucky at Huddersfield Town that we have a high number of supporters that have helped us over, certainly in the time that I've been here. So no, they will be missed. But for us, what we have to do is control what we can control. We know the significance of the game, but ultimately it's always about the process. It always has been and always will be, and it's about us getting to our levels of performance. And if we can get to the level of performance, both in possession and out of possession and in the in-betweens, then we'll put ourselves in a good place to get the desired outcome.
You ask any Huddersfield Town fan, tomorrow's game will have always been a standout fixture given this running and given where Luton are in the Championship table as well. If you win this game, it takes you to that 50-point mark. Would you accept safety with victory tomorrow evening?
No. If we win tomorrow night, we'll get 50 points. And if we get 50 points, then we'll go to Sheffield Wednesday and we'll want more points, because the season is 46 games. It always has been and always will be. It's normally played over about 38, 39 weeks. This time it's been played over 50-odd weeks. But ultimately, it's, the games don't change, and we know what we need to do. And we're focused on that. And like I said, for me, it's about the consistency in the performance. I think in the last 3 performances, the work against the ball has been very, very good. In the Birmingham game, I thought offensively we were really good, and we controlled possession well. We created a lot of opportunities in the game. I thought again on Tuesday against Reading, losing me days and my marbles, but no, losing. On Tuesday, I thought a lot of our offensive stuff was good, and up until probably the final action, and that's something that we've looked at over the last couple of days, and we will look to try to improve going into the game on Friday. But I think you see the group fighting, and you see a togetherness and a spirit and a unity, and these are very important qualities when you're in the position that we're in.
What kind of game do you expect tomorrow evening, given how much importance it is, not just for you, but for Luton as well?
Well, we know that it's like I said, there's a lot of high stakes. We anticipate that they will be a wounded animal, in the respect that they had a disappointing result against Reading on the Saturday. Then were pegged back in the Barnsley game late on, in what was a very competitive game on Tuesday evening. And we know that they will come fighting, and it's probably a game that they have to win. And we understand and respect that. And what we have to do is we have to make sure that we get to our levels. And that is always in terms of attitude and work rate and focus, but also in terms of the way we execute the game plan. And I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to big games. I think big players play well in big games, and we we intend to show everybody the best of Huddersfield Town come Friday evening.
Bodies-wise, I know you're not one to give detail on that front. I accept that. But Fraser Campbell wasn't in the matchday squad. Will he be back tomorrow evening for you?
Well, we hope so. Fraser's obviously an important player for us. We were able to rest one or two midweek. We didn't want to rest one or two. The Reading game was as important as the Luton game, but when you're playing as many games as we are, we have to make some decisions. And I understand, and not everyone gets why we have to rotate and move the squad around, but we have all of the information in front of us. We're very, very lucky to have an outstanding sports science and medical team at the football club. And we try to make the right decisions, because what we don't want to do is break any of the players that we have, because we know that if we do, it can be season defining at this stage. So we were able to get it right on Saturday, in my opinion, with team selection, and again on Tuesday, and that puts us in a good position to be able to pick the team that we wanted to going into the Luton game. And when the games are coming as quickly as they are, and what you have to remember for us, again, we started a day later, we finished a day earlier, this mini schedule, these 5 games, 13 days. You have to try to utilise the squad, and you have to try to plan ahead, because, we know that certain players play better against certain teams and certain opponents. So you're always looking for matchups and trying to find the best way of playing against the opponent. Football's always against the opponent, so you always have to respect the qualities that they will bring, and try to pick the right team accordingly.
The one more player that you'll have at your disposal will be Janino Bakuna, who is back from suspension. Do you think this period has been a time for him of reflection, maybe, given the nature of the sending off against?
I hope so. I think Janino is a great kid. Our heart's with him. He has the opportunity to achieve great things in football. We're working really, really hard with him so that he doesn't get in his own way and stop himself from doing that. He was actually in an excellent place. He's the way he trained during the period after lockdown, how he played in the practice matches leading up to the restart of the season. We were so excited, and it hasn't quite happened for him for one reason or another. And when you have a disappointment, you have 2 choices, don't you? You either let it engulf you and get the better of you, or you keep it close. The frustrations and the disappointment that you would have felt after letting people down and letting us down, and more importantly, letting himself down in the Nottingham Forest game. He needs to keep close, and he needs to now use that to drive him. And I can't tell you how much we're looking forward to having him back, because he's such an important player to us and to the team. And we're looking forward to seeing his contribution come tomorrow evening.
I wanted to ask you as well about Alex Pritchard. What have you made of his performances since the restart?
Yeah, I think Alex has worked really, really hard to get himself back into a good physical condition. It's not easy when you've missed as much of the season as Alex has missed and had such a stop-starty season. He's an ultra-talented player, very, very balanced, can play off of both feet, got an amazing turning circle and ability to change direction and to make things happen. He's working really hard in the areas that he needs to be able to play at his best. Football's not always just about the physical, technical and the tactical. It's also the psychological, and he's working really hard on his mindset to get himself in a really positive place to be able to perform at his best. And the psychological side of the game, particularly at this stage of the season, with the position that we're in, and also the games coming thick and fast, shouldn't be underestimated. we train the physical all the time, we train the technical and the tactical, but you have to make sure that you train the psychological aspects of the game. And we know that if we're mentally strong, we'll be physically strong. And we're working hard with the players to ensure that we can affect them in that area, so that they're able to perform at their best, game in, game out, because that's what you have to be in football. If you want to be the best, you have to be consistent. You have to be relentlessly consistent.
Do you still think there's more to come from him?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, there's more to come from Pritch. He come on in the Birmingham game. He did really well when we were in a good position in the game. He come on Tuesday night and affected things. Had a really good shot that was well saved by the Reading goalkeeper. And he's a top player. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But like anyone, when you have a lack of rhythm and a stop-starty season, you need to get a run of games and a consistency in your training and a consistency in terms of match minutes to be able to find that rhythm and flow. And he's that player, isn't he, that needs the rhythm and the flow. And that's what we're all working really, really hard with Alex. And I have to say, Alex is driving it, which is good to see. And that's what we're all working towards.
Final one from me, Danny, really quickly. I wanted to ask you about what you've made of the drinks breaks in the games. They've split opinion across football. And then I saw Thomas Frank, was it on Tuesday night with the whiteboard? It was a bit like an NBA game. What have you made of the drinks breaks? And I know you talk a lot about the extra 1% that you can find. Have you outlined it as an opportunity to speak with the players?
Yeah, they're timeouts for us. I like them. I'm a big advocate for them. In basketball, I love basketball. We did a lot of basketball, compete at national level at basketball at the school that I taught at, and you were able always to have timeouts. You were able to select when you had them, and they'd be a very, very big part of the game. And it's great to be able to use them mid-game. And I think in the circumstances, we were probably all anticipating warmer weather than maybe we've had, but typical English summers. But no, they've been good, and yeah, the boys can get a drink of water while listen to me moaning at them, and it's good. It's important. They're a good opportunity just to be able to look at the game and try to help the players. That's what you're always trying to do. You're just trying to affect the players to be able to finish both halves in a strong way.
The best of luck for tomorrow night, Danny. Cheers.
Thanks, Jamie.